Hello my lovelies, and thank you for watching this video. Today I will introduce you to the other foster cat that is currently living in the bedroom. This is going to be a lot, so I will try to use chapters and timestamps as much as possible. Thank you for your patience. Layla is a feral cat. This means that she's not used to human contact at all. While it's not unusual for tame cats to hide or avoid humans for a while whenever there are visitors or the cats have moved to an entirely new environment, feral cats are quite a step above that. Layla can't be touched at all, even after acclimating to a new environment. She arrived here on the 1st of April this year with a massive area of matted fur on her back, unable to physically move in my presence, no matter how far away from her I was. We always take new arrivals to the vet before they travel to their foster place, so not sure why in the world in this case the vet didn't already shave off her matted fur. He literally had the tools for that already out and ready because he was checking whether she was pregnant or not. In any case, since matted fur to that extent is incredibly painful and cats can't remove it on their own, we had to get her to the vet again to shave it off and give Layla some relief. At that point, we also found out that her sternum or chest bone had been broken in 2 places in the past, likely from a high impact. This could have been from a car accident, a fall, and yes, possibly also a firm kick from a human, but we just won't ever know, so we can only speculate. We also found out that not only was Layla already castrated, but chipped and tattooed as well, so she must have had a home at some point. Due to how feral she is right now, we suspect that she either had some really shitty experiences on the street, which is not exactly uncommon, or that she lost her home when she was still really young. In any case, unfortunately, neither the chip number nor the tattoos led us to her owner, and the breaks had healed a long time ago, so there was nothing else to be done at this point. Though, as a result of the breaks, Layla's sternum did push slightly against her lungs, which was part of the cause of her audible breathing sometimes. The other cause was a simple infection, which we treated via medication and Layla's food. So now what? Well, with feral cats I tend to kind of test them very gently, checking to see if they're open to being with and enjoying the presence of humans, again, or at all. The key is to gently prod their boundaries, never trample them. Being around other tame cats can help as well, of course, but isn't enough. If Layla was going to be absolutely unresponsive after months, I would likely look for a nice farm for her to have a warm shelter, plenty of food, and a job. And she has been showing some progress. She has been eating while I'm visible, even while I'm talking to her or listening to voice messages. Layla has even been active during the day as well. And she has been getting more and more relaxed with me around, ears and gaze, showing less and less fear. So things are going just fine, right? Nope. On the 6th of May, Layla went into what is called a status epilepticus. Basically, this means a chain of never-ending seizures. I had fostered an epileptic cat before, so I recognized it for what it was, though the continuous part of it was still a shock and surprise. Cluster seizures like that don't end on their own, meaning either the cat dies, or almost at least, or she gets medication as soon as possible in order to stop the seizures. And each seizure a cat has means it will be more likely to have future seizures, and more likely to be damaged by the current one. This can be due to hurting itself during the seizure, muscle tears due to the cramping, or even brain damage. As I believe that it can be helpful to see these things for yourself, I will insert some video footage here. Seeing a cat like that can be quite disturbing though, so if you don't want to watch these, please don't hesitate to jump to the next chapter on the timeline or use the timestamps in the video description. Please also keep in mind that not every seizure looks like this. There are many different kinds. In fact, with one of my other fosters that I mentioned before, there was basically no cramping at all. He just fell over, lost consciousness, and then panted for a little while as he was in an absent state. sie ist sehr verwirrt. Sie hat nochmal gekrampft, glaube ich, hinter der Tonne. Also wir haben es wieder klopfen hören, sag ich mal so. Und wie man sieht, ist sie jetzt echt sehr benommen. Sie nimmt mich noch nicht mal, also ne, sie rennt nicht von mir weg. Und läuft gerade so ein bisschen im Kreis, anscheinend. Ich habe auch Speichel eben gerade gesehen, bevor ich das Smartphone geholt habe. Ach, Maus. Ah, da sieht man den Speicher, ja. Und sie hat definitiv gespeichert. Und sie hat... Holy fuck. Sie scheint Probleme zu haben, aufzustehen. Also sie war auch am Wackeln, als sie versucht hat zu stehen. Erneut, ich glaube, das habe ich nicht aufgenommen. Aber man sieht es ja, also sie kann irgendwie nicht aufstehen gerade. Holy fuck. Ich versuche mal ein bisschen was. Okay, krass. Also ich kann sie sogar anfassen. Die ist total weg. Und hat total Angst. I'm so sorry. Needless to say, after quickly checking in with the rescue I work for with the info and evidence I had, I rushed to a vet immediately. Layla had at least 13 seizures until we got her some diazepam to stop them. She needed a very high dosage, and I also made sure to take some with me in case of emergencies. With these kinds of seizures, a cat can't survive on her own, or on a farm for that matter. So now on the 29th, we have a vet appointment to test and check everything we can so that we find out what causes the seizures for her. If Layla has a tumor or another anomaly that causes the seizures, the question becomes whether or not it can be removed. If yes, awesome. No seizures anymore, and I can continue with my gentle way of taming Layla. If not, we would then just do palliative care. Make sure she isn't in pain and give her relief once she has no quality of life left. If no, well, basically fixable reason for the seizures can be found, things get more complicated. At that point, Layla absolutely needs medication. Epilepsy medication, however, needs to be given twice a day at very precise times. We're talking at most around 15 minutes of leeway. However, Layla isn't even at the point yet where she can immediately eat while I'm still around, or reliably, and this is key, eat treats quickly and completely. This means there are only a few choices. First choice. Try all the things until we find something she loves so much she eats it in front of me without spitting out the medication. Certainly the easiest solution, and the one we will no doubt try first. However, it might be that she's just not ready for that yet, so it will likely have to be combined with time and more taming. And any amount of time used on more taming will likely lead to another status epilepticus, which of course we want to avoid. Second choice. Be more aggressive with taming Layla. I mention this option only because it would of course make some options significantly easier if Layla simply wasn't, well, feral. I do not think this would work out, or that I could do it. Layla is still terrified of hands, and pushing that too hard will make both me and her miserable. Therefore, basically, this option would mean moving Layla to a foster place who is okay with doing this. Third choice. Force the medication into her. This means that I would have to put a towel over Layla, grab her head through the towel, and quickly try and put the meds into her mouth before she bites me or other things. While possible right now, this would put up significant roadblocks for any taming work with her. It would also not be 100% reliable, and it would definitely lead to negative reactions from her long term that might even make giving her medication this way impossible. For example, she runs as soon as she sees the towel. I also personally feel that this method would not lead to a good life for her. So this option would also lead to moving Layla to a foster place who is okay with doing this. Fourth choice. Basically give Layla the time she needs. This massively risks future seizures, as it would mean months of not giving her any medication at all. So the downsides should be pretty obvious. Fifth choice. Use medication that you can give Layla via food and keep her hungry so she eats it quickly. Not the nicest option, definitely, but should be the quickest one, as Layla currently eats within 20-ish minutes after being presented with food. Problem is how to do this when other fosters are around. So this is simply not a permanent solution. None of these options or choices are good, but these are the kinds of real dilemmas and questions me and people like me face every day. And that is part of why I started this channel, to show as much as possible with, about, and for my foster cats, to educate and show the good and the bad. Both are important, I think. So once this video is live, I will make Layla's stream public as well, even if it may not be as exciting to watch as the kitten stream. It's still important, you know? If you enjoy the content on this channel, or even if it has just given you food for thought, please consider subscribing, liking, and all that good stuff. And if you want to join the conversation or get access to pictures of the fosters, consider joining our Discord server. Link, as always, in the description.